Hi guys, this is Zach from Watches on You, and today we're at JB Hudson Jewelers taking a look at the TAG Heuer Formula 1. So we had previously reviewed this watch, and actually my brother had previously reviewed this piece, and I feel that it is necessary to redo a review of this watch, as that particular review has actually gotten a fair amount of negative comments on that review, and that's mainly just things that my brother had said that people didn't agree with. So I'm just going to be redoing this review, and I'm going to kind of clear up the batter surrounding that video if possible. So now let's go into this watch. So this watch has a 41mm stainless steel case. You can see it's entirely brushed. There are no polished edges on this piece. And the case, I'd say the brushing is pretty high quality. There's definitely no problems with that brushing whatsoever. It's true TAG quality here. And you can see that the bezel is actually, then it has a black steel bezel as well. You can get this with a uncoated steel bezel, so it's just going to be a brushed steel bezel, which looks pretty cool, but that's going to be a little bit extra. The base models have this black steel bezel, which feels pretty nice. The action on this bezel is very good. It is a 120 click bezel, so you could honestly use this bezel as a dive watch. It locks down good. It's very loud and clicky, though it's not really smooth, but I don't really think TAG Heuer was going for that, so there's no problem with that. It does lock down fairly nicely, although there is some wiggle to this piece. Now the bracelet on this watch, it's got solid links. It's steel bracelet, feels pretty durable. Definitely no problems there. It's all brushed and it flows into the case pretty nicely. Now the clasp on this piece is also brushed as well. If I can pop this open, gets seeming to be a little difficult here on gloves. Okay, there we go. So the clasp on this piece, it is a pressed metal clasp. You're not getting any milled bar clasp here. Now that's one thing that I do not like about this piece. I think they definitely could have done a better clasp. I mean, this is a $1,200 wristwatch. You're stepping into the high-end range here, so I think that they should definitely replace this with a better clasp. Seikos have these kind of clasps. It really isn't true to what TAG should be doing, especially any watch should be doing at this price point. You should definitely have a steel solid bar milled clasp here, not the typical kind of clasps you can find on Seikos and things of that area. So now going on to the dial is a matte black dial on this piece, although it is also available with a white dial as well. And you can see that this watch is quartz. The hand is ticking away there. And you can see you also have a date window at 3 o'clock. So this watch uses the quartz movement in this watch is very accurate quartz movement. Not going to be a big problem there. Quartz movements tend to all be around the same accuracy. There's not, although Longines did release the VHP, which is kind of a step up from a typical quartz movement, as also as a perpetual calendar, which is very cool to see in a wristwatch. But this movement's going to serve you well. It's going to be very durable. Again, it's a quartz movement. They really all are. But that is one, I'd say more of a downfall in this piece. I think, at $1,200, you should be putting an automatic movement in this piece. You can get quartz movements from $50 watches. I think if you're spending $1,200, TAG Heuer definitely should have put a quartz movement, an automatic movement in this piece, as you can get some other watch, you can get cheaper, even like some Victorinox watches, I'd say, are almost comparable quality to this, that you can get with automatic movements for cheaper. So I think that they should have done a automatic movement in this piece, and that's one of the things that my brother had said in the previous video, and he was saying that, when you think about this watch, there isn't a huge amount going for it at this price point. I'm just going to compare it to here. This is the Longines Hydra Conquest. This is the 44mm. It's the just past year model. It's not the brand new one with the ceramic bezel. That's going to cost a couple $100 more. So this watch comes in at $1,275, which is only $75 more than this TAG Heuer over here. Now, on this watch, you're getting an automatic movement. You're getting a rotating diver bezel, just like this has a rotating bezel. You're actually getting a 300-meter water resistance, which is triple that of the TAG Heuer, which only has a 100-meter water resistance. And again, it's got an ETA, it has an automatic movement. It is an ETA movement, not in-house, but again, this is a quartz movement. It's not going to be in-house either. And also on the clasp, you're getting a milled out clasp, so this is going to hold up much longer. And again, this also has a diver's extension built into the clasp. Now this is a much bigger size, being 44mm, but it's also going to be I mean, the features that this has, I just think the TAG can't really even come close to. Now, you can get this with a 41mm case as well, and I believe they also do a 38. So you do have many different case options with this if this size is much too big for you. And I'm just thinking, I mean, this TAG, I think, really the only way that you can justify this being a $1,200 watch is because of the TAG brand name. I mean, I don't really see how a $1,200 watch with the specs that it has can be at that price point reasonably. I mean, here's the thing with these watches and with this TAG Heuer, and honestly some of the other watches on this price point, I'd say this Longines is pretty good value, but there are some others like the TAG Heuer with their Quartz, and they're just not the greatest quality. And I think that this price point, I think, is kind of one maybe to more stay away from. If you want a very high quality watch, maybe save up a little longer, get that higher priced watch, an Omega. You can get pre-owned Omegas, or honestly, if you're at this price point, get a pre-owned TAG, get an Aqua Racer automatic, get a Carrera. You can even start to get, not the chronograph, but you can get the non-chronograph Carreras at this price point, starting to be able to get those. So I think that there are just so many better options that you have, and I think that's what my brother pointed out that people didn't like. Now, he tended to say more, save up, get an Omega, get even a Rolex, and those are way above this price point, and people didn't like to hear that. But honestly, I mean, in the words of Archie Luxury, yes, he can be a bit of a, I'm not sure if you're familiar with that YouTuber, but he can be a little bit of a buffoon sometimes, but he does say, if it doesn't hurt, it's not real. And honestly, I kind of agree with that. If it's not you're really pushing you to get that watch, you're going to get it, and you probably are going to be a little disappointed with it. I mean, if you're getting, I would say that your if you're looking at this piece, you basically have three options. Get a pre-owned TAG or some other brands at this price point that are automatic. Stick with the automatic movements. If you're spending around $1,000, do not get a Quartz movement. Not a good idea. There's just so many better options. I mean, if you really like a Quartz movement, get a Longines VHP. It's a better movement, in my opinion. It's finished better and is a nicer watch overall. Now, your other option is if you're really stuck at this price point, and honestly, but if you just want value, get a Seiko SKX or something cheaper down the line. It's not that much worse quality. The case and everything is not that much worse of a quality timepiece. You're getting a bigger water resistance, and you're getting an automatic movement. Very well, and you're saving, what would that be? If you're going to save $1,000 with that piece. So I don't really see why you would spend this when you can get specs that are in some ways better at a far, far lower price point. I think really the thing that's carrying this is the TAG brand, and I hate to say that, but it is. There really isn't too much else going for this piece. But then again, your third option is if you're striving towards an Omega or something of higher quality, but you're saying, oh, that's out of my price range, I can't afford it, so I'm going to get a TAG. I would say in the watch market, don't do that to yourself. Save up, or you can save some money, get a pre-owned at that price point. It'll just be better. I would say if you want, yes, if you can, save up a couple months or maybe even years longer and wait and get that perfect Omega or exactly what you wanted, and you would never be disappointed. Or if you really can't make that stretch, get something cheaper. Again, Seikos, they're great quality under this price point. I mean, if you can get some $500 Seikos, and honestly, they'll be better quality than this TAG Heuer. I'm telling you that right now. They just are. Some of you who own this piece probably won't like to hear that, but they are, okay? They just are. Value for money, way better. Longines, again, this watch, same, it's $75 more, and the quality of this piece is just so much better. It's got so much more going for it than this TAG. So I hope you guys like this video. I hope this kind of clears out, if you've seen the other video and you didn't like it, I hope this kind of clears up some of the batter surrounding this piece. Again, I just really don't think that TAG should be offering this watch at this price. I mean, I think it's absolutely insane, to be honest. I think that Longines around this, again, way better. You can even maybe start to get some Nomos watches around this price point, which just crush this TAG Heuer. So, thank you guys for watching this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks.